Welcome to the Campfire. Today we're analyzing District 15-6A. Teams in this district include Klein, Klein-Cain, Collins, Forest, Oak, Magnolia, Magnolia West, Tomball, and Tomball Memorial. Let's begin by taking a look at these teams in our film session presented by the Houston area Chevy dealers. Last year we had co-champions in 15-6A as Tomball and Klein-Cain both finished 7-1. However, the real action came in Week 11 as the final two playoff spots were still up for grabs. Klein Oak and Klein Collins would make it at 5-3, while both Klein and Magnolia fell a game short of the postseason. The same six teams should be fighting for those four spots again this fall. Klein-Cain brings back a lot of returning beef to an offensive line that will help keep quarterback Zach Johnson's jersey clean in 2025. Johnson will look to Max Yates for big plays out of the passing game. Tomball will also light up the sky behind quarterback Jackson Falden with receiver Hunter Rathke. Defensively, first-team linebacker Braden Schneider will be bringing the pain for the Cougs. Look out for Klein this year under new head coach Nick Caduti. He made Fulshear a power and now has E.J. Kelly as a first-team running back returning, and he'll be running behind Texas commit Nicholas Robertson. Klein Collins is always in the mix with their traditionally tough defense. Keep an eye on J.D. Brady and Ellis Rogers on that defensive unit. As for Klein Oak, they have 3 more years of the most electric freshman in the district has seen in a while, Micah Rhodes. Just give him the ball and watch him go. Magnolia's Cash Farrell is an up-and-coming running back, and tight end Carson Smith is one of the district's best. Magnolia West returns linebacker Rylan Langley to help slow down offenses, and Klein Forest, Jakari Jones, is a dynamic wide receiver for the Eagles. Tomball Memorial loves to light up a scoreboard, and Gavin Westerberg will be the playmaker at the wideout position.
The film session is presented by the Houston area Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive. Players on the Rise is brought to you by Parker University. Would you like to help a veteran? Log on to parkerperformanceinstitute.com to learn more about the Invicta Project. The Campfire is brought to you by DQ for treats and eats before and after the game.
For an even deeper look at 15-6A, here's producer Ward Fasold and Matt Stepp from Dave Campbell's Texas High School Football with the District Breakdown.
All right, Matt, we are talking 15-6A, and man, I know I'm going to talk about some things that we talked about on the podcast last year, which is we never could figure out which Klein Collins team it was, and then they itched their way in on the last day, and then they ended up going 3 rounds. So are we going to have, let's start with Collins, are we going to have a better idea of what they're going to look like going into this year?
Honestly, Wizzy, I don't know. I don't know. This is the team that actually went the furthest in 15-6A last year. They got to the 3rd round before losing to Longview, and they were 5-5. When they were good, they were really good.
Yeah.
But they were also bad. And they started out 0-3, admittedly against a tough non-district schedule. I don't know. I don't have it. I was really fretting on how to pick this district, and because I don't have a good read. I mean, you look at it on paper, and you feel like Klein Collins should be a contender for the district title. They went 3 rounds deep last year. They got 13 starters back. The interesting thing in this district is if you look at the district champion last year, Klein-Cain, they probably have the most question marks. They've got a lot of holes to fill. They graduated really heavy. They only bring back 2 starters on the defensive side of the ball. Now, where they do have their quarterback is back. Zach Johnson is back. He set a bunch of school records last year. They've got 2 running backs that are going to be really impressive. Enrico O'Gwen, the talented sophomore, and Jarim Lewis will be very good. So I think Klein-Cain offensively is going to be very good. Defensively, though, a lot of questions. Only 2 starters back. Braden Nwoku and A.J. Kraft in the secondary are kind of they're 2 top players, but there's a lot of question marks here. We got to go Klein-Cain 1, Tomball 2, Klein 3. Klein Collins 4, Klein Oak 5, Magnolia a tough, like I said, Magnolia 6th place. A lot of other districts playoff team. Tomball Memorial 7, Magnolia West 8, Klein Forest 9.
There you have it.
We'll post the entire breakdown segment this Wednesday on our social media pages. Now let's take a look at some game changers in our Players on the Rise, presented by Parker University. There is simply no getting around Klein offensive tackle Nicholas Robertson. At 6'3", 335 pounds, Big Nick is a huge individual. Not only that, to quote Miley Cyrus, he comes in like a wrecking ball, bowling over defenders and creating lanes for his running backs. In pass protection, the blind side is completely secure with Robertson on the job. Nicholas is committed to the University of Texas. At Tomball, dual threat quarterback Jackson Fulton was a first-team All-District selection. He threw for over 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns, completing 68% of his passes. When Jackson ran, he tallied 697 more yards and 7 touchdowns. Fulton has complete control of the Cougar offense and should have them in district title contention again this year. Klein Oaks' Micah Rhodes set the district on fire as a freshman running back. An easy selection for the district's newcomer of the year. Micah is patient, quick, has incredible change of direction. Simply put, he's everything you want in an explosive tailback. He racked up over 1,000 all-purpose yards as a freshman, and he's also a dangerous receiving threat. Micah already has tons of D1 offers, but has 3 years to sort all that out. In 9 games, Tomball Memorial wide receiver Gavin Westerberg earned himself a first-team All-District selection. He caught 40 passes for 1,151 yards and 13 touchdowns. That's an average of over 28 yards per catch, which made Gavin a true big play threat every down. Westerberg also gained 727 yards after the catch. He doesn't have a big offer list as of now, but that might change after another big season.
The film session is presented by the Houston area Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive.
Our Ward for Sold caught up to new Klein head coach Nick Caduti to talk about his Bearcats in our Media Day segment.
All right, it's Media Day. We are talking 15-6A with Klein's new head coach, Nick Caduti. And Coach, man, talk about first of all, the success you had with Fulshear obviously probably opened up a lot of doors for you, but why was Klein the spot for you, and how excited are you to get started, especially with the getting to know your new team and how to work around them, or work with them?
It's been awesome. You know, the kids are great. You know, when you came in January and you made the transition, it's all about, it's about getting people to buy into you and the culture and the things you're trying to do. Our 4 years at Fulshear were amazing, nothing short of amazing. And, I felt it was time, being close to the north side feels like home, especially when we were in the Tomball area. My daughters have friends up there. And so, for me, it really was, it was a family move, and it was a situation where, I needed to plant roots. My daughters are 12 and 9. And so, my time in Fulshear was awesome. And I couldn't be any more happy for what it was. But, Klein is a special place. It's a special area. And to be honest with you, I've thought for almost a decade that it's a sleeping giant.
You're coming from a 7-team district, I believe, to a 9-team district where you have a little less time to get ready for district play. But when you get in there, you're going to have the other Klein teams. You're going to have the Tomballs, and now the Magnolias are in here. It's one of those deals where you have 8 district games and you think you can ease into it, but it doesn't really work like that, right? You got to be on the ball week 3, or all of a sudden you're behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, and we start off with Klein Kane. Nothing like a co-district champion to start the year off right with. And Coach Klein does a great job. This is good football. This district is really good football.
Absolutely. Well, your enthusiasm's got us hyped up for some Bearcat football. So I appreciate you joining us, and we will see you in August.
Awesome. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks.
You can catch our entire interview Friday on our social media channels. Hey, that'll do it for this week's Campfire. Next week, we take a deep dive into 16-6A. Until then, have a great week, everybody.